what you can bring, and you will surely prevail. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aisha. Let's hear from you, Kadi.
I'll just address two of the issues that were raised. First is godfatherism. It is a major problem for us in the political system. It's something that is at risk of discouraging young people from participating. I mean, I joined, I think what was AC or ACN when I was 22 years old. And I've attended ward meetings. I've been an active party member since between then and now. Now that I'm running for office, I interact with the delegates on a regular basis. I go back to my hometown maybe twice a month. And that is apart from my personal character and traits. I cannot say for sure that if the delegates even want me, that I'll end up being the candidate of the party. And I say that with every sense of responsibility. We still have a very, very long way to go. But you cannot make a difference from outside the room. You have to at least try to know whether they will cheat you or not. And it's only after you have been cheated that you can say, I've been cheated, and this is what I hope to do about being cheated. But if you are not cheated, you cannot just say, oh, they are cheating people, they are cheating people, they are cheating people, but you are sitting down watching DSTV. So yes, there is godfatherism and all of that, but you also have to, there also has to be, young people have to make efforts. Nothing is going to be given to you on a platter. And in terms of nothing being given to you on a platter, leads me to the second question I wanted to respond to about the diaspora. I moved back, I went to university in the UK, and one of the reasons why I didn't stay back a day beyond my graduation is because I always knew that in the long term I wanted to get involved in politics. And so I've been involved in politics since then. So I mean, because you live in the diaspora, I'm sorry, there's nothing that makes you different from the rest of us. Come, join the process. Let's all play this game together. Because I mean, there's really nothing. You are running where you live. So we can't say because you are in the diaspora that there's something special about what you have or what you are bringing to the table. Come, join the process, however long it takes.
Thank you so much, Kayode. Thank you. Now I'm going to talk to Asukwo.
Thank you very much. Let me start by addressing this notion that vote me because I'm young, that people usually have. Youth is not a certificate of capacity. It is not at all. What people want are young people that are well equipped, that are ready, that have developed skills of leadership. And the notion and the idea is that since they are young, they have a fresh way of thinking. They have innovative ways of solving the challenges before us. And so young people ought to come together in the sense of knowing who has capacity to lead and supporting one another. That's the first thing. The second thing is the demographic, which is the youth. It is the single biggest demographic in terms of the voting bloc. However, we are divided, like Aisha said, along party lines, along ethnicity, geopolitical zones, religion, tribes, etc. But if we were to come together, regardless of our parties, our religion, and come together for a set of ideals and values, we can actually change the narrative. And I think the time is now. No one is going to do that for us. It is young people that ought to take the mantle of leadership and start coming together to create a momentum to deliver the change we want. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sukwo Ekpenyong. Now I'm going to ask Mr. Obiora your closing, any comments, observations, and then your closing words.
Well, thank you, Malver. For me, I think young people should be focused. They should build themselves. And because nobody's going to build you, you have to prove yourself. It won't be given to you on a platter of gold. Yes, I understand the affirmative bill. I understand that sometimes you need to create the space for them. But in that space, you must prove yourself. During the presentation, Mrs. Awoshika gave us statistics of how many young people are in Nigeria. It shows you that the competition is tough. So for us to have young people who strive to be in leadership position, you must prove yourself. And how do we as young people support other young people? We must identify young people who have potentials. They may not have the money, but crowdfunding is possible. You see a lot of followership on social media. Sometimes you see the musicians have 5.3 million followers on Instagram. It shows you that if that 5.3 million persons decide to get one of the youths into a position of leadership, that with 100 naira, it translates into a whole lot of money. When President Obama was going for president of the United States, 80% of his fund came from the common people. So it shows you it's possible. And for young people, we can get there. Regardless of godfatherism, regardless of every other challenge we think that is in party politics, we can get there. On the issue of diaspora, when she asked, how will you make it a bit comfortable? I laughed because she's speaking from, where she's coming from. So if you're in diaspora where you see a lot of the challenges of being a politician or being in politics has reduced, unlike here in Nigeria, you get a bit comfortable over there practicing politics there. But when you get into Nigeria, it becomes a tough one. So for the only way you can change that is to get involved. And when you get involved, you start bringing your ideas to make things better, to make the political landscape a bit easier. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been my absolute honor to moderate this very distinguished discussion and this very distinguished panel. I have to thank you most kindly, Aisha Osori. She's a lawyer and author, and as I did say, I strongly recommend her book. If you're a young person seeking to go into politics, it's not a bed of roses. Love does not win elections will definitely give you an insight into what to expect. Thank you so much for writing that book. Kayode Adegbola, we wish you all the best. He's a political aspirant. Mr. Asukwa Ekpeyong is the Commissioner of Finance in Cross River State. Thank you for coming. And we also have to thank Mr. Obiora Obiabumo. Thank you so much for sharing your time and thoughts with us. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much for making our time. I hope that individuals... Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being on the panel.